Hi everybody, good afternoon. I'm doing today SOL L1 alert reporting. This is a follow-up for another SOC L1. I think the last one was, I forgot what it is. Well, the triage one. There's the one that it was before is the triage. That one learn more about SOC alert and build a systematic approach to efficiently triage them. This is part of preparation for the SAL1 certification and to go familiar about the SOC simulator. Prerequisite is good to start with that one, yes. Two, of course, they give us the SOC. Basically, this is our dashboard. Simulate the SOC, so we have one closer, two in progress, and two waiting for action. This is two, we suppose, for this room to learn how to write reports. Of course, no, it's straightforward room. So basically, start with the alert funnel. Usually, you start here in your SOC job. You go to L1, L2, then DFR, incident handling, and forensic. You go to the top to the management. So first L1 analyst, because there where you start. Receive the alert in SIM or EDR or ticket management platform. Most of the alerts are closed and as false positive, usually in general. This is free room. I will go straight quickly only to do the lab part of it. So of course this is alert reporting. Before you close in or pass into alert 2, you must write a report for this type of and also you need to specify is true positive or for example negative. Alert escalation, if it's true positive, alert require additional action to deep investigation. Now here you need to escalate it to L2 for further review following the agreed procedure. Depend of your company working on. Every company they have different rules. For example, when to escalate and how to escalate. Communication is key important. You may also need to communicate with other department during or after the analysis. For example, ask the IT team if they confirm granting administration privileges to some user or contact HR to get more information. So basically we'll practice now on this one. It will be clearer later on. Now the quicker question is what is the process of passing suspicious alert to an L2? This is alert escalation. When escalating the alert, that's what is for. Now we have what is the process of formally describing alert detail and finding. Of course, this one is reporting. We do in reports, so this one's straightforward. Reporting guide, of course, provide the context of escalation, save the funding of a record, improve investigation skills. So having L1 IS write alert reports several key purposes. That's why we write in a report. Of course, is someone open a ticket, you want to understand why it's closed, why it's open, what is in progress. So the report, the key part, they call them the 5 W's. So always who, which user, that what happened, action, event, sequence, when exactly did the suspicious activity started, where and why. And TryHackMe, they give us, for example, here it was closed. If we open this, for example, you can see an example, a description and the comment. Comment is a bit shorter for this, for the report, but still, the engine's web server, PRD Nginx, uses Ubuntu 20.04 as an iOS, and periodic connection to the official connectivity check domain coming from trusted are expected for the system. What was the problem here? The rule detect operated connection to a single domain which with a static period of like every like no, they think it's a C2. And that's why they said it's a false positive because here they discover it's an Nginx web server and it's high because whenever you think about C2 it go up. Let's go for quickly the question. According to a SOC dashboard, which user email leaked the sensitive document? So this one is not, let's see, this one Fleming, it's already for assigned to this user. Google Drive document stored inside an important folder was shared outside the organization to the personal to a personal email, this action is violation of corporate policies and must be reported to the compliance department. Source user email is this one, so this is the guy who sent it, so we can have this question there. Source user department, target user email, so we send it to this file and name, employee record, type is spreadsheet, and the comment. This is at 18:30 UTC. They tell us the name of the person, Martin, Boston HR lead, logging into the Google Workspace from trusted LPTHR0988 device, and a minute later attempted to download the Wool HR folder to the laptop. So you can see now it tell you the time, it tell you the who, what happened, where, and then tell you some what's the W, why, and where. So you need to describe. So the top one is always the time. It's more like you take the information from there. If you follow now, that said looking at the new alert, who is the sender of the suspicious likely phishing email? Now we're talking about the new alert, so this is the new one. It said phishing email. Email marks as phishing. If you look now, description, the email was classified as phishing post delivery after automated analysis. If the email is spoofed or contain any suspicious link or file, it must be deeply investigated. Subject, we have that. Keyword sender Microsoft support. You can see that almost it's a legitimate. It look like a legitimate Microsoft. The question only asked for the image, so we're not going deeper now. Then they said open the phishing alert, read its detail, and try to understand the activity using the 5WS template. What flag did you receive after writing a good report? And then C, previously closed a ticket to have. So now we need to one thing I don't like, because if you start opening you lose, you don't know what you write in. So now we need to at least copy this, so we don't need to, because if you close and come back it closes for you, so you can't see it, you don't know what you're copying. So if we want to write a report now, if you follow the report, for example, like this example, it's a this one or this one is more detailed. It said tell you no, this is the information, tell you at the time, who's, what, and then to explain. So if you follow the same logic here, so first of all we open state, now first we assign it to ourselves. Let's say the progress, usually you start something like that, you assign it to yourself. Now if I want to write verdict is so let's save. Can we save first and jump in every time? So here the key part is the security check. This is very important for emails, because remember the guy is sending it from support, and then you can see this 600 price increase. This is type of phishing email. There is the exaggeration, there is the urgency, to do an action, like in here, download the report, read detailed subject, and then you have the email. So we can say, for example, where's the time? There's the time. We can copy this so we can save some times of typing. So we can say, for example, on my day, you can see now. I need. Let's do it like that. Who is the recipient? Edit Permi on Monday. User received. What it look, for example, look like a phishing email from Microsoft support with the subject For example, we can say this, and you can go down. For example, this is the introduction to say, for example, where security, for example, said security check failed uh, uh, for example, SPF, and what's the other one for SPF, which are very high indicator, for example, indicator of spoof, fin domain, phishing email. For example, what else? A subject also have what do you call it? A sign of urgency. See, and what do you call that things? Exaggeration, relation. Uh, for example, 60% price increase, which confirm more this is a phishing email. What we supposed to do again? Open the phishing alert, read it. Okay, let's save this for now. Oh, it's give me straight without. It's not supposed to do that. We didn't finish, so it is no AI working in this one. I think it just if it's only to count how many words you type in. Because severity in progress, we can just close this one. We don't need to. We didn't do true positive. We can close it for now. It works, so we don't need really to escalate this one. You need to refresh to give you the flag again. That's a very. I think it's not an AI reply. That's you just write it will. Which one we did? We didn't finish the report. Also, the attachment report.rar, which is for example, is a bit strange episode that might, for example, might contain malicious program, for example, or something. Let me show you guys something something interesting. I'm still writing. I'm not good real writing, so let me show you some trick. I thought if you know Jason Haddix, he shared the 17 well, this week. He said this drop zone AI investigation faster with this an extension. Guys, this one you need to be careful about it. It's still new. Let me show you something here. Basically, this is the company behind it. They said they're not mining the data. I'm not sure. I'm using it in Chrome. I don't usually use a Chrome. This one I just use it. They said, Meet Coach, an AI-powered security alert meant for SOC analysis. Maybe use it in your VM or something. They said it doesn't collect data from your computer, but I'm not sure. I trust this guy, so maybe it is no problem. But if you use it in your browser that you not use it in case it collect data or something. I'm not sure, but it's new. Let me show you how to cool. If you are new and you want to use it as a learning experience, look for example this email that we have now here. Let's zoom there. What we wrote now, for example, if you are new in your English and you want to learn fast and you can copy this to ChatGPT. You can just install the extension. That's the extension. If I install it in my computer, I don't use Chrome, guys. You should there, so you can click there and say generate guide, he will detect that you open this alert. He will see this is the email marked as phishing. This is more good to teach you, but don't be like lazy, just copy and paste. Like you learn by practicing. You write your own report and then learn. So you learn from it. Look, for example, the nice summary what it said. This alert highlight phishing email that was flagged post delivery after an automated analysis. The email which uses the subject important update. See now the update team pricing increase, show clear authentication failure with SPF and DKIM, indicating in high probability of spoofing. The suspicious content, urgency, cues, and potential malicious attachment. You can see it helps you to write a bit of English, so you can use it as a learning. Detecting objective. This detection is aimed to uncovering phishing email attack that bypass initial filter. So you can see that. Then you can go common malicious explanations for this alert. Attacker may be spoofing a trusted domain, in this case impersonating Microsoft, to trick the recipient into engaging in malicious content wherever. You can read about this common benign explanation for this alert. This activity is unlikely to be benign due to the presence, because this is the really they give it the SPF or DKIM, they're very important. The rare case in organization misconfiguration matter is on legitimate email being marked, but not in this case. Investigating questions. Is the sender email domain being spoofed rather than legitimately originating from Microsoft? Verify the header information uses extension Office 365. Query the DNS, what specific element, review the email body, all of that. We don't have the email. Is the attachment malicious? Extract metadata of report.rar using forensic tool like 7z or command line utility. Has the recipient interacted with any suspicious element within the email? Check the user activity. Are there any similar report? You see, the good thing about this is like asking ChatGPT. It give you a good analysis. By experience, you can start learning your own report faster. So yeah, as I said, I got it from Hadith when he did it. Let's continue our, and we come back to this one now. And the next one we're talking about escalation guide. Now, after you have made the verdict and written alert report, you must choose whether to escalate the alert to L2 or not. The alert is an indicator of a major cyber attack require deep investigation. That's the condition to escalate. Remediation action like malware removal, host isolation, password reset, all of that. Communication with customer partner management. You just do not fully understand, because sometimes because you are new, you just start at one, you don't have experience. Sometimes you want to talk to a senior analyst. Escalation steps of every company, they have their own reason, the way. The most cases, all you have to do is reassign the alert, but sometimes you need to write a report, you need to do things, because some companies, they don't tell you just escalate for whatever you want. It's like you don't throw the job to the L2, make them busy for anything. This is more escalation process. For example, nice alert detail wherever, like me, you send it to the L1 check it, and then hold the process start. Requesting L2 report, and then we'll practice team call, whatever. If you want to talk, they to discuss in chat, all of that. As I said, this is room is free, guys, everybody, you can do it. Now let's do this one. Who is in your current is your current L2 in the dashboard that you can assign to escalate the alert to? Now if we go, who is in alert, if we go, for example, if I want to assign, the only person L2 is EF Fleming. So the user is EF Fleming. This one is L1. So we can say the user for L2, we have one employee is in L2, and this simulation is this one. The next one said, what flag did you receive after correctly escalating the alert from previous task to L2. Note your correct escalated alert earlier. You just need um, which alert we did us. No, because it's still in progress, I'm not closing it now. He said we need to escalate it, so you come here, escalate it to ELF2, and we get our flood after you escalate the flag now. The next one, it's now investigate the second new alert in the new queue and provide detailed comment. Then decide if you need to escalate the alert and more in according to the process. After you finish your triage, you should receive a flag, and then it tell you here you should add the correct command, verdict status, and a sign. Now, if where is the thing? Where is this alert? Spike in the domain discovery commands. So if I open this, first of all you assign to yourself, and then you read detect spike in command like who am I, net user, if you look at special active directory rooms. This is when an attacker style, but also can be legitimate, but in general they're very if you see them, it means someone is an admin is playing around your system in Active Directory unless a command confirmed by an IT activity legitimate. Let's do what we did before, so we can just switch back and keep running in circle. So we don't need to do that. So when you have the host name, we have the OS, and we have the user, source process, and parent process, and ironically you can see it's already set to your reverse shell, so it's already giving itself. And then you have a grandparent. The grandparent is init server. This is Microsoft Web Server that IIS, what they call it. This is the worker. It means it's high sign that the attacker came through a web application. That's why they're going to process, like upload the shell or something, and then the shell now is running inside the system. This is high alert. We can feel confident to say that for example in progress, I can say it's a true positive. I can say it's also critical in these things. We didn't copy the time. Let's see what is the time. Let's save. Let's get the time. So if we write a report for example we detected, for example, series of unusual commands. For example, what are the commands? In Active Directory environment, what we can as it said an invoke, and also invoke commands like we can use this one directly. I don't think we can just copy the host name. For example, you say the host name user, for example, there, so we can what else we can see now. We have the who, the server, the who, we have the when, so we need to know we can see, for example, we can see the grand, he said what's that, the grandparent process. No, which is related to Microsoft web server. I think they call it IS, a web server, I think it's called worker process if I'm not mistaken, which indicate initial access through web application, uh, through web application, the parent, and then we have the the parent process, the parent process, which is clear name of reverse, for example shell, then a process what we can say, we can be mostly sure this is an attack in progress, and we should escalating this for further investigation, further and urgent investigation by L2 team. So it's a critical because it's really because now it's inside, we have the time, things like that, so we need to assign it to the L2. It's very severe because it's a reverse shell. It's a high, as I said, um, the process is this process is web application. You have the reverse shell, and already command is running, so we can for example, and we go to flag. Now let's do something tricky about this. Let's go back to this. Let's say if you are a training now, you want to see spiking if I want to do this, detect spiking command who I am. Let's see now if we go the AI, if we want to learn, tell us for example, uh, give us, if you want to write a beta report so you can learn about it, in case you want to, how I want to write a beta report. I start learning, because now in the TryHackMe room there's no AI feedback or something, so we don't know if you wrote a nice report or not. You can see this is a nice summary, like when we did before. We just said that, this alert highlight a spike in domain discovery command execution, the host. You see now how they write it nicely. At, so they give the time with a medium severity. The alert notes suspicious command like who am I, net user, get, which are common used to active the directory reconnaissance and indicate that the process changed. That's why I said this little things is good. And then you can see a question and involve a questionable parent process, rev shell, and the grandparent process. So this is, so now you can learn how you write a summary. Then you can go the next one. Detection is aimed to identify instant where domain discovery command are executed in pattern that deviates from normal. Then which common miniature explanation of data. This is when you start writing a nice report. The activity is unlikely to be benign due to the presence of the suspicious parent process reverse shell initiating command from a command prompt. Such behavior is consistent with adversarial tools attempting to map out the domain structure for further exploitation. An attacker with initial access could use this command to gather information on domain admins and user privileges with the objective of moving laterally throughout the network. Malicious scripts or automated tools might be used to systematically collect domain information as part of the border attack campaign. Common legitimates may run domain. You can see this one is a security assessment or penetration is conducted by internal schedule maintenance and things like that. That's why investigation need to be done. Now you get a question to answer. Check Windows event log. This is they tell you. A run detailed review of Sentinel-1 with similar EDR for the process tree starting to confirm if shell was initiated unexpectedly. And then yeah, uh, that's what good about these little things. It can help you to learn uh, things like that. So yeah, maybe try give it a test and see, maybe it help you something like that, or you can just ask ChatGPT to write to teach you, but don't rely too much on them. Don't be everything copy and paste. So better write your own report first, write your own report, then practice with so every time see what you missed. Say for example, I write my own report, maybe it's not good enough, it's not good enough, then I get an AI to help me write a better one, and then until you start running, because if you get a job in SOC, they will ask you to write it yourself, and AI is not there to help you. Of course, now here the communication is key important in any SOC. You need to escalate an urgent critical alert, but L2 isn't available and does not respond for 30 minutes, for example. Ensure you know where you find emergency contact numbers. Like for example, in this alert we did now, I mean the hacker is already inside the system, so it should be even not waste too much writing a report. In fact, you don't spend half an hour writing a report and you can see the attack is in progress. The alert about Slack team account compromise the quiet. Okay, valid things receive over many number of valid during. After a few days, you realize that you misclassify the alert and likely missed the malicious action. You cannot complete the alert triage since SIM log are not passed correctly or are not searchable. You can read, guys. This one is free room. This communication between different department. Should you first try to contact your manager in case of critical line? You don't just call your manager for every time you have problems. So you need to investigate first. Should you immediately contact L2 if you think you missed the attack? What do you think? Yeah, because if you miss an attack, is it's a disaster. I mean, it maybe things are going south. Yeah, this is the room. As I said, this room is more TryHackMe building up to write. As I said, maybe it's more jobs in the SOC, but if you want to learn this, my advice is you need to. Like I myself, I write my own. So now, every time you write something, you get better on it. You can try this app I told you to teach you how to write, or ask ChatGPT how to write, but you need to write it yourself. So if you have an interview or something in a job, you don't get like, oh, everything is AI and I copy and paste. So at least get it right. The most important part is this one. You get this part right, you're already there 90%. Then the English you can correct it. That's cool. In any case, guys, thank you very much and have a good